And then I am going to, so welcome everybody. We are here for a dive into command opportunities with our favorite alliance partner for virtual assistant and marketing and contract to close in the Market Center, Robin Taylor of RobinT, and her partner, Lianza Bacala. Lianza has spent a considerable amount of time, as well as Robin, just digging into command and making things work and realizing things don't work and then figuring out how to fix it. And both of you guys have been incredibly patient with me as I have needed your assistance in a variety of ways over the last handful of years, especially with command. So I want to publicly thank you for that. So Robin Taylor has been at the office for many, many years, and we have known each other for, gosh, close to 10 years now. And so I just want you to, if you would, take a quick minute, please, and introduce yourself to this crew, and let them know, of course, what type of services you provide and why you love Roswell so much, and a tiny bit of background on who you are. Lianza, you're next, and then we'll take the pulse of everyone in the room.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody. I'm really happy to be here today. My name is Robin Taylor, and my company is RobinT Realty. And as we go through the slide presentation, we've got, we'll show you how to spell that, because it's, you know, when you create the name of a company and emails, you don't think about sometimes the other side, how people will totally confuse you with something, but that's another topic for another day. I've been in this market center for right around 15 years now. I actually was on staff to begin with, and then I left staff and created my own company as a virtual assistant and just helping the agents. After I started that, within a few years, I went ahead and got licensed so that I could learn even more to help just teach the agents. And it just kind of evolved into people would walk down the hall and say, hey, do you know how to do this? And I always said yes, even if I didn't know how to do it. Then I would go teach myself how to do it. And so I could help the agents out with it. So over the years, that's grown into compliance, to technology. We do marketing, listings, just really still about anything that an agent needs to leverage off their plate so that they can be with their clients, whether it's a buyer or a seller. We handwrite notes and send out for people. We work in like Zip Your Flyer if you want to do something like that. You know, with me being licensed, I help a few agents with, you know, writing out their contracts and, you know, helping out with amendments. And I used to work, I'd seen some of the teams here grow really large, like Sarah and her team now, and they're knocking it out of the park every single day. And we're still working with them, even as she's hired on additional administrative help. We still work on all of her contract to close for her and her team. And I remember when it was just Sarah. We've helped Robin Consor in the past, and Ryan Ward and his team. I don't know if any of you know Premier Atlanta Real Estate, but when he was starting his team, we helped them until they got to a point where they needed their own person full time. So I'm an oldie, I guess, been around for a while. As the team has grown and we've done different things, some of you have been in the Market Center long enough and you've seen my team evolve and different people that have worked on the team. But Lianza, who's here and does a great job with me with technology and with everything command, her dad used to work with me. So some of you know her dad, Luigi. And once Luigi was ready to kind of move on, Lianza kind of started and said, hey, I think I want to learn how to do this. So she's been phenomenal in learning command and technology. She can help you with any of it. So Lianza, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you. So like she said, I'm Lianza Bacala. I've been with RobinT for a year and a half now. Graduated from Auburn in a degree that has nothing to do with any of this, but Robin gave me a chance and let me start working with her. And I've really loved getting to learn about real estate as a whole. I do a lot of marketing. I started with contract to close, and as she said, it kind of eventually evolved into the technology. I have been in command since day one. One of those things is, hey, go learn Command. And it turned out to come in handy. I used to work with the technology right in the office, and I've worked with Sam, so I feel pretty confident that we're on the same page and I understand what he's teaching and can relay that to you as well. So yeah, I'm really passionate about this. I love doing this, so I'm excited to be here with y'all today.
I just want to make one quick note. This is like the third thing I've heard about this in the last 15 minutes, which is we heard on Sarah Sloan's call. There was an agent in our office who had a family member who basically, I'm going to assume that they identified a need in the marketplace, right? Sign delivery and, storage and all that kind of stuff. And they said, hey, why don't I make this happen, right? Why can't I create a business out of that? And so they did, and now they have the exposure of all 3 market centers and everyone in the market centers that talks about it. Robin had an opportunity to be on the leadership team many years ago, and she probably she was witness to a lot of agents that needed the type of service that her firm currently provides. And so she says, well, hey, I identified an opportunity in the marketplace. Why can't I go seize it? Leanza says the same thing. Hey, Command is going to be the future of Keller Williams. So if I jump in from day one, then I'll be looked at as a resource for Command, and there'll probably be many opportunities that stem from that. So if that's not kind of what's the word I'm looking for? A slam dunk in terms of, gosh, is this company not a perfect match for just an entrepreneur and somebody who's thinking big and seeing gaps in the marketplace and then rushing to fill them? So congratulations for both of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take the pulse of y'all for a second. If I were to say, what is who believes that they have a real firm understanding about what Command is and does and can do?
Me.
Okay, let's start with who's willing to share their face on the webcam?
Pam.
Not me.
Anybody? Okay, that way I can see you, and if you have this look on your face like I don't understand, then we know to repeat it. Who feels like they're like a rock star with Command? Who has a topic in Command that's been stumping them and they don't know what to do next? Wow, you guys, anybody have any jokes? What should we do?
No, I got.
Okay, so Robin and Leanza have been kind enough to offer their time, and we want to make sure that we're obviously respectful of that, but also that we deliver the content that you guys want to hear. So I'm going to turn it over to Liz, who is this is like the 10th time that she's been the first to speak up, and guess what happens? She gets what she wants. So let that be another lesson for you. Liz, tell us what you'd like to learn.
That's how I roll. I get what I want. Right? I'm struggling with, I've got on my database, my people in my database, and I'm struggling on touching them now. Drip campaigns, emails, tech, like what, maybe just start off with the basics on what you would do with a fresh database and how you would touch people and the different kinds of touches and buyers versus sellers versus just friends, that kind of thing.
Okay, so we'll definitely hit on smart plans. Who's next? Donna, you're on mute.
Yeah, so for me, I have a pretty good handle on entering my contacts and opportunities, that sort of thing, entering my documents. I need help with the marketing stuff, but I haven't devoted a lot of time into looking at videos and training myself yet, but that's where I want to focus my efforts on Facebook ads and marketing type stuff.
Okay, I'm going to make a little list of things that I want to cover, guys, or that everyone wants to cover, and then you guys can maybe give us a good overview of each of these things. So we're going to do designs, smart plans, Facebook ads, And of course, I want to talk about opportunities. So if you could include in there, I see you, Heather, opportunities with respect to like the forecasted income and setting goals and seeing how that changes as you log certain things. If you could walk us through that. Heather?
Hey, I have two questions. My first question is, I'm kind of not confused, but not understanding the reason why. Like, I have the one website of it's like heatherfowler.kw.com, and then there's the other one where it's heatherfowler. I think it's like krealty.com, like the bigger web page. So I guess my confusion is between like which two, are they for two different purposes, or like what's going on with why there's two? And then my second question would be, I have a lot of problems with the system, and I don't know if it's because of my reception at my house or if it's because I haven't actually been to the office yet to have like tech do whatever they need to do on my computer because of Corona and when I came on. But when I'll go to sign in, a lot of times it'll tell me that I don't have permission to use Keller Williams internet. But I thought I was like using mine at home. And it does that quite a bit, or I'll just be working and then it'll just kick me out.
Okay. Who else? I'd say we probably have 2 hours of content here. David or Brian or Pam, do you have anything you want to share?
I don't.
I want to know if they have any real like tips, things that maybe they found weren't obvious that, you know, that they've found that helps them work in command.
Any like secret digit that we can put in their contract file that will make them call us when they want to buy or sell something?
Yes, no.
Okay.
Command text.
I'm interested in that too.
Can I add something? I also need help with my webpage. I'm not sure how to make that engaging and how to update it.
Okay, so the class is you guys, but maybe we can start with the idea of the two websites. Kind of walk us through, where do we see these? What's the point? How does it connect to the mobile app and all that stuff? Who wants to start?
I'll do a brief overview on your websites. Everyone's got a Command website, which was part of Command, and everyone has their market leader website, which is part of what we call the E-Edge. That was the big system that Keller Williams Associates used going into and prior to Command. So you're going to see eventually that market leader website is going to go away. It's kind of a standalone website. You can add pages, you can add information. It's more of an older website, older style website.
I can give you, you can share your screen as well, or I can give you permission if that would be helpful, sharing your screen.
Well, I didn't have anything prepared for websites. We
have
a
a
whole PowerPoint.
Like you could log on to like your website that's E-Edge and your website that's Command.
Okay.
I can pull it up while you're talking, Robin, if you want.
Okay. Yeah, Leanne's going to do the screen sharing while I talk.
Okay, cool.
So the market leader website, like I said, that's an older styled website. And I say that because for Keller Williams, it's an older style website. They're moving away from that type of website. They're moving towards something that's newer and more contemporary. Yes, Leanza?
Hey, it says that you've disabled screen sharing.
Sorry about that. Give me 1 second. Screen share. Try now.
Okay. Let's see. One second, y'all. Keep talking, Robin. It's
okay.
Good.
If any of you, you know, a traditional website, you go to it, it has a flashy picture, it has some movement on it, it talks about the agent or the team. You click on tabs, you can go create a search, then you can click on a tab that has maybe school information, and you have all these different tabs you can go through. Then Zillow and some other people came along and they created a whole new experience, and they started pulling people away from our websites because it was a cool little search you could go to on your phone or your tablet. And Keller Williams is like, wait a minute, we want to keep our people. So we want to create an entire experience for our consumers, not just a website. So they created a whole new app, and they've created what they're calling the consumer experience. It's not really a website. It's more of a tool that your consumers can use to find information. We're getting away from all the information being stacked on tabs in a website with all these different pages, because people, what Keller Williams has found is they just don't look for that information anymore. If you want to put information out there so you can send people to it, each page of this new website with Keller Williams, which is called the consumer site, is its own landing page. So if you want to use it to send people to, like to house some testimonials, so you're putting together, say, a virtual presentation for buyers or sellers, and you want to send them your testimonials you have online, that could be a landing page that's actually part of your new website. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes, no, maybe. It's very different, and a lot of people are trying to build it like their old market leader website or other websites that they've had or seen, and that really wasn't the reasoning behind the creation of this. It's a consumer experience made up of multi-landing pages. So I tell people, use it for marketing your virtual presentations. You know, you can house information there, but it's just not the same type of website that the agent wants. Those websites were more agent-centered. It made you feel like you looked good, but it wasn't working for the consumer. So Keller Williams wanted to make something for the consumer.
Okay, so you give out your command website, which is what we're looking at here, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the one we're seeing is the market leader website. So this is your more traditional looking website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right. Don't invest a ton of money into making this look pretty.
No.
That it's going to go away. So show us your command website, and then if you were to give your website address to somebody, like how could they come in and start looking for homes on your tab or your search app and stuff?
Yes. All right.
So your command website should be your name.kw.com. And like I said, it's just landing pages that are put together, and you can create individual landing pages.
Okay, so this is your primary, this is where it directs you. Now, if I'm your client and I want to use your search app, do you have it set up where it's easy to start doing that?
You would have them, yeah, you could create searches on here, I believe, for them, but you want to send as part of your marketing. I know some people had some questions about marketing. Your first marketing piece should be getting your app out there to them.
Okay. All right, that's one thing I also want you to cover today.
So this is where they can go on and create searches. You can create searches for them. Part of adding them in your contacts is you start the whole process when you add them in. You want to add in neighborhoods for them. And then you want to market your app to them so that they start searching. Leanza, what else on the websites have you learned in the past?
So there's some really cool things. I'm going to go back to kind of this main screen because this didn't do exactly like I wanted it to, but that's okay. So you can definitely search, like I did a search for my home currently, and here's my neighborhood. So you can search by neighborhood. Let's say I click this explore neighborhood. So you're able to, oh, it's going to give me an error. Sometimes that happens. That's okay. We'll just go back, and it gives you different information in here. So it's pulling this information from, is it Open Door? Is that the name of that? Or Next Door. Thank you. And so what locals say, so it's pulling this information from that about this specific neighborhood. The different stats, so homes for sale, homes pending, home average home price, all that kind of thing. So when they go to home search, you know, I don't know if y'all saw while Robin was talking, but on that home screen, the search bar right here. So that's typically when I go in and design these, I make sure this is very clearly stated, like, hey, this is where you search. because there's a lot of good information that can be found, because you can search by your neighborhood, or you can search by a specific address, school district, zip code, etc. So let's see what happens. So see, then they can actually pull up properties here. All right, so then let's click on it. Say we're interested in this property, putting on our consumer hats, right? You can flip through pictures, okay? It gives you all the information, 6 bed, 5 baths, square footage, price. So then what's also really cool here is you can do a ask your agent. And so if you click here, they fill this out, it goes to your Kelly app. You should get notified on the Kelly app. And Kelly app is separate from the consumer app. Think of Kelly as more the agent side, whereas the consumer app is strictly meant for the consumer. But so they could fill this out, ask you questions, and you would get that notification, which is pretty cool. But yeah, you can scroll through here. Let's see, I haven't tried this in a while, but you should be able to, it wants me to log in, that's fine. But they can actually, if they create a login, they can search for, let's say, like a workplace, and they can compare, and they can see how long it might take to commute to work or whatever from this property. Also tells you the nearby schools, which is good information to know. Ideally, right, upcoming open houses. That's not really happening right now, but that's okay. But then you also got this mortgage information that you can play with. So you can change this number, and you can kind of give them an idea of what their monthly payment will be. So in terms of home searching, this is a really great tool to send to them. I would even recommend, if your clients are asking about a specific property, you could look it up for them and then send them the link to this, because it's branded to you and it gives them all the same information they find on a realtor or a Zillow, right? But it's branded to you, and that's what we want. So, and what else? That's the coolest part to me, in my opinion.
Can you back up for a second and make sure you show them exactly how to brand it to themselves, like how to go into the Kelly guide and all that, or the what do you call it, command guide or whatever? Oh,
so how to actually create the website.
Or well, that too, but also how to like go in to add your picture and to put in like a bio and all that.
Gotcha. All right, yes, so let's transition to talk about that. Let's see. So for doing anything in the backside, setting things up, you're gonna actually go into command. Does everyone know how to get to command? I think most of y'all have been using it, right? Is that what I was hearing?
Speak up, y'all.
Yes.
Yes, I've been using it.
Okay. So when you go into command, we're gonna let me show you the marketing profile first. So this marketing profile is actually important for everything marketing. This will lead us into a good marketing talk. So up at when you log in, up in the top right-hand corner, you should see your name, all right? And you're going to go, don't get confused with this other profile. We want to go to settings to get to the marketing profile, because that's the place where that information gets distributed to your website, to the consumer app. The marketing profile is more important than any other profile, okay? So click on your name, and then you're gonna go to settings. All right, you pull up settings, this is the first screen you come to. It is under connect settings. So here on the left-hand side, you've got this menu bar, okay? Connect settings, marketing profile. My recommendation is to fill out as much information as possible. You want your picture. If you have a team logo, upload it, okay? And then you just go through this, fill it out, first name, last name. If you want to put your license number, Georgia is not a state that requires you to display it, but you're more than welcome to. Job title, okay, designations, credentials, A good bio, something that I realize a lot of agents don't have, is just a small like paragraph written bio that's just it's about you, right? You want people to know who you are. It humanizes you, makes you someone that you want to work with. So that's one thing I've learned, is that not all agents have a nice written bio. So take the time, write just a couple sentences, right? Paragraph, 4 to 6 sentences. Phone number, office, website, okay, email, all that good stuff. Market center information. The one thing I do see that happens a lot, make sure this market center brokerage logo is where you put Realty Consultants. Do not put the Realty Consultants up here in the team logo. It will show up twice, okay? If you don't have a team logo, if you're not part of a team or you don't have a logo yourself, leave it blank. Cool. So we'll make sure.
Shout out any questions if you have them.
Yeah, just stop me if you have any questions. And then again, just filling this out the best you can. Market center information, phone number, right? Legal footer, I do believe, at least for the websites I know, you have to have this, each office is independently owned and operated, and you actually are supposed to have the brokerage name and phone number. So I would just put that in here just for you to have. Okay. Social media, you can link your social media here. So this comes in handy for your website. It'll actually link people to your Facebook, if you have Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, okay? If you only have 1 or 2, that's okay. People see this and think, oh my gosh, I need Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. If you only have Facebook right now, that's cool. Stick with what you know, okay? And then, yeah, oh, and you guys are in my way, so I gotta move y'all up. Make sure once you've filled all this out, you hit the save button. I cannot tell you how many times agents have lost information thinking it just automatically saves. You do have to hit this save, okay? And then you'll get this, it was automatically saved. Perfect. So like I said, this is the profile you wanna have filled out with as much information as you can. This is the one that goes, again, to the website, your consumer app, anything like that. So any questions about that? Robin, you have anything you want to add?
No, just remember when you're looking at these websites, it's not a traditional website. It's for your consumers to go to be able to find a home. Like I said, you can add various landing pages to it that you could utilize for virtual presentations, but it's not going to be the, many pages where, people are going to just look for you. It wasn't set up to be that way.
That's done intentionally.
Yes, absolutely. It was done so that you have Zoom to face contact with your client now, and you can have virtual presentations and you send them, data that they can look at, and it's just not meant to sit there and house a bunch of information, because consumers don't want that. They're going to Google what they're looking for, and they want a site that's speedy, that they can find what they're searching for, that they can sit on their phone or on their tablet and find stuff. And you want to make sure it's branded completely with your name on it, because you want them to come to you for all questions and answers to their search. You want to make sure that you've got them and that they don't go anywhere else for that information.
Right. For sure. So do y'all want me to go over the Kelly guide and how to set up website, or do you be more interested in kind of the how it works once it is set up? What do y'all want me to cover next? Or do we want to go into marketing?
Leanza, if they've gone through and completed everything, like as in Heather has a question, she's gone through and set everything as she thinks it should be, but her website is not active. If you try and go to it as a consumer, it says no page found. Can you think of anything off the top of your head that might not be done or might be causing that for her?
is this button right here clicked. So in the marketing profile, it says use my information to brand my agent site. This button has to be green, otherwise it won't show up.
All right, perfect.
Did that work?
She said, okay, thanks. So hopefully she's looking at that. If not, I told her we'll take a look at it later after the class.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions about the consumer sites?
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna move y'all again. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Do we want to move on from websites? Any more website questions? Or we move on?
Let's go ahead and move on. Looks like everybody's doing okay.
Cool. I heard a lot about marketing, and since we're talking about the marketing profile, do we want to go on to some of those things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So little, Pam, you asked about little tips and tricks. I like to tell everyone, if you click on this red KW square in the top right-hand corner, it pops all the names out of these little icons. That's just me. I'm visual and I like to see the names. So if you're like, what is it? You know, you can click that. So that's something. Let's start with, I like to start with designs, and then we can go into campaigns and things like that. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So if you haven't done anything in designs yet, you will not see any templates here. The biggest what's the right word?
No
thing, yeah, that I've heard agents say is they're like, there's no templates in here. You have to get somewhere else to get to the templates. So this is where you're going to be, like the word implies, designing. This is where you create your content, okay? Facebook ads, like the actual post part of it, right? The picture or whatever. Postcards, you could do print, flyers, those sort of things. So there's lots of options here. So when you come here, you should see, if you have things on your page, your plus will be in the corner like mine is. If you don't, it should be somewhere on the screen. But you'll hit the big blue plus, and it asks you what kind of content you want to create. So if it's social media, anything for Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc., you're going to click social. Anything print-wise, postcards, flyers, brochures, anything like that you would physically print, we'll find here. Video, you can actually kind of help create little videos, which is really cool. I can run through that real quick if y'all are interested. And something that's relatively new is this import PDF. So you can actually, it has a PDF editor now. I have used this several times in trying to edit things that are sent to me via PDF, because normally you can't edit PDFs like that, right? So this is really cool. So what do you want to do today? Y'all want to do a social post? You want to do print? What do you want to do?
Social. Social.
Social?
Yeah.
Right.
Social.
Perfect. So we'll go with social. Under here, there's an option to import photos and text from a listing. To me, this is one of the coolest features of this design, is that you can actually choose to import from somewhere. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, next. So this is where it has me search for a property. Robin, I'm gonna search for ours.
There you go.
There we go. All right, select. Sorry, I did that a little fast, but you search for it and then it asks you to select the listing. Okay. This is actually the house that me and my parents are buying, so this is pretty cool. Just fun fact. Okay. Give it a second, it transitions over to the editor. I'm also in Safari and it doesn't like Safari. I may have to reopen another screen. Come on.
Yes, any Mac user out there, you may need to make sure that you go into command through Chrome, and they will tell you that if you use incognito, that it is supposed to work better. So there's that tidbit for you.
Yes, that is, yes. Give me just a second. I'm gonna get logged in here. Get us back to where we were.
Basically, on any laptop or PC you're using, from the beginning, they've told us all that Command really works best through Chrome. And if you use incognito, then you don't have to worry about clearing out your cache or your cookies or any of that. So
yep,
that's the best way to access it.
I definitely say Chrome. I push Chrome all the time. I am a Mac user. I'm an avid Safari user, but I made the switch for Command. Anytime I'm really going to work in Command, and as you could tell, especially with the designs, if you're on Safari, I would definitely recommend going over to Chrome. All right, so just getting us back to where we were so y'all can see this again. I gotta move y'all again. So again, you just hit that select button, and it typically give you two options. One's from FMLS and one's from Georgia. It doesn't matter which you choose. Now. There we go. So that's what it's supposed to do. So that's why, yeah, you can see using Chrome definitely helped. So the way I think of this is here on the side, you can see app, listing, buyer, lead gen. They kind of break them into categories, and they kind of already have them set up based on that category. So listings, if you click on listings, now you've got these subcategories: for sale, just listed, price update, open house, under contract, etc. The one thing I do tell people that all of these are editable. So if you like an open house template that you want to use to advertise a just sold, you can do that. Like, you can change all the words. They just lay them out. This is how they laid them out. Okay. So let's say we've got a just sold. Now, when I click on my category, notice now we've got up here Facebook, Instagram, Instagram stories, LinkedIn, and Twitter. So if I click on Instagram, these ones are meant for Instagram. They actually sized them so that they're perfect for each platform, okay? So if you're doing Facebook, I'd recommend obviously the Facebook, right? LinkedIn, Twitter, same deal, right? So you can see you got some options here. This is actually more than was when it first came out, was coming out. This is more than it used to be, which is awesome. And you can see the different styles, and again, you can change all of this if you don't like the red color, or whatever. You can make it what it is. So I'm just gonna pick one. So notice when I hover over, we've got this red use. You're gonna want to click that, because if I just click on it, notice how it doesn't go anywhere. You want to click that red use button. Okay. So now this is taking us to where we're actually going to be able to edit the content on this template, okay? So my just listed, all that good stuff. Over here on our far left, we've got another kind of menu here. So anything to do with images, you've got here. They actually have, one thing I love about this is that they've composed a stockpile of images that are copyright free, image free. Obviously, if you're advertising a just listed, you won't use these, but if you're just branding yourself or you're just making a post, one of these might be perfect. So they've got all kinds of photos in here, and they even separate it by like app images, lifestyle, at home, activities. So based on what what kind of template you're creating for social media, you can use different photos, which I think is cool. Text, anything, adding text in here, no big deal. Icons, if you've ever used like Canva or anything like that, they're kind of like little stickers almost. This will probably something you don't use that much, but you can see like they got little Christmas trees, Santa hat, whatever. So you can use those. You can search through those. Your logo, so these are your your library of logos. So you can see like me and Robin have put in all kinds of different logos in here, including like the realty consultants, and then you've got RobinT's here and that sort of thing. So we have our library here. It does pull from the marketing profile. So your headshot image, your logos, all that again pulls from that marketing profile. So if you've already done that, you should have some of these pictures here, okay? And the thing I love the most, and I think it's just so flipping cool, is this KWLS down here. So you can actually search for property. So you remember how in the beginning I typed in my property. I did that up front, so it's already here. But you can come in here and search for it, select it, that sort of thing. That gives you the photos and access to the listing details. So address, current price, year built, all this good stuff, okay?
So quick question, Leanza.
Yes.
Can you just give everyone a brief overview of what KWLS is, and when they take a listing, do they have to do anything with KWLS? Can you walk us through all that, please?
Yes. And also just to let you know, Robin said her Zoom cut out and she can't get back in. So I don't know if you want to try to loop her back in.
Oh, I'll send her a link.
Okay. So, and she can talk more about KWLS than I can, but it's KW's listing service. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, that it feeds into FMLS and Georgia MLS, or am I wrong?
It's not, you're not explaining it exactly right. We'll wait for Robin.
Okay. She knows more about that than I do. I work less on the listing side of that. So give her a second to get back in. Okay, I'll have her answer that question when she gets back. I'll keep talking about this, and then we'll talk about KWLS, okay? So you can, so obviously having these details here are cool. This is all, again, editable. So you click in here. Give my mouse a second to get into there. So maybe I want it to say just sold instead, right? And I can type that in there directly. Same with this. But what I can do, if I go back to this photo, is I can actually pull this photo over from here. So what I like to do is I click once on the image, I hover back over the image I want to use, and notice there's this little recycling button here. I call it the recycle image, you know what I mean though. It says, and if you hover over it says replace image. So if you click that, ta-da, it replaced that image for you. So without having to resize it and that sort of thing. So if I just click on it, see how it just pops in? Then I got to sit here and resize and reimage, and we don't have time for that, right? Y'all want to be able to do this quickly and just get it out. So that's just another little tip and trick that I use to make this go faster. Yeah, let's see. Any questions about what I'm talking about so far?
So you can, once you get into the templates, you can find your listing, or you can have identified the listing and then go into templates. Did I catch that properly?
Yes, so you can choose the listing when you first go to choose your template, or you can actually do it once you get in here as well.
Okay.
So if you forget it up front, you can always come in and add it. Okay, so then up here at this top, this is where we can actually change the name. I recommend this because back on that home screen of the designs, the picture for the design doesn't always pop up. So if you've got random letters and numbers and you're like, I don't know what post this is, it can be hard to identify, right? So I always change the name, okay? Over here, we do have you do have the option to download. So this is helpful when you get into print and that sort of thing, okay? You can download as JPEG, PNG, or PDF. So the biggest difference between these, JPEG is mostly used on for web pages, for internet. So social media posts, if you're gonna download them from here, I would do it as a JPEG, okay? PNG is really for your high quality images. So something you don't want distorting. This is really where I would go into this. Hey, Robin's back.
Robin, tell us, before you get too far into the next grouping, Robin, can you give us a really good overview of KWLS, how that functions, what we need to do once we list a home, all that stuff? Can you, what is KWLS for those that don't know?
Okay, hold on just a second. I had to join on my phone because my internet went out.
Oh.
The internet to go out. So can y'all hear me?
It's a little muffled.
All right. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question was KWLS and listings.
Yeah, just what is KWLS? Can you give us an overview why an agent, what an agent needs to know about it, what they need to do when they list a home with respect to it? What's the deal with that?
Okay, with KWLS, that is basically the Keller Williams listing service. And when you list a property, it will go to KWLS. And then it populates from there to the Keller Williams website. And that's also where it sends it out to all the other hundreds of websites. KW has made agreements with different websites so that the information gets pulled from KW, and that will overwrite any other information. So if you were to go to Zillow or Realtor.com, or not Realtor.com, but Zillow and any other websites like Zillow, there's an agreement there that the information is always pulled from KWLS. The idea behind this, and Georgia's a little different than some of the other states, but the idea was that your listing would always be branded with your information. Because, you know, Keller Williams is all about listings brings you leads, and you need to be branded for your listing. You don't want other agents getting the calls on your listing. So that's kind of the idea behind KWLS, is it brands your listing, and then it populates that information. So anytime it pulls, for our office, that information gets pulled from FMLS. So anytime you enter a listing in FMLS, it gets pulled into KW, and then KW sends that information out. So if you go into FMLS, and you enter an open house, that information automatically gets pulled into KWLS, and then it gets sent out from there.
So if I put a listing into FMLS, KWLS takes care of itself. If I change a price or change a comment or something, KWLS picks that up and sends it to all the search sites, right?
Yes. Now you can go into KWLS because it doesn't map the information exactly. So you can go into KWLS and you can put more information in there, and then that information can populate to some of the other sites. It depends, you know, it's all about mapping when you go from website to website. You know, if you, even with Georgia MLS, they ask the same thing differently, and every website does. So everything doesn't map out exactly. So the more information that you can put in KWLS, then the more information hopefully gets sent out to the other websites.
Cool, thank you.
And KWLS is going to be changing soon. They're going to roll out a whole new KWLS.
All right, does anyone have any questions about KWLS? Okay, thank you guys. Keep going, please.
I told you she'd be better at that than me.
You were pretty good.
And it's all right. All right, so that's all I'm going to talk about as far as that. So that's actually creating content, creating things for social, again, for print. The print works the exact same way with as far as choosing a template and editing it. Okay. So then let's say I like this. I'm done. I like it. It's how I want to post it. Okay. I'm going to download it just in case I need it. I don't believe you have to do that step. Okay, so just bear with me for a moment. All right, so I'm going to hit my done, which then is going to save it, and you'll see it pop up. We'll go back to that main screen on designs. All right, so that you can see it sits here. So if you have a template that you enjoy, you like it, you can easily come back in here. You can make a copy of it. So if you want to use that for multiple things, multiple listings or whatever, you can do that as well, but you can always come back in and change it at any time. So then I've created my design, I like it, I want to post it, okay? This is where I take you to campaigns. All right, so the little bullhorn over here on the left-hand side. All right, so there's lots of different things that you can do in campaigns. So this is kind of new, this dashboard. It tells you, it gives you an idea of like accounts you've got connected, quick posts. So I do believe like they have these kind of set up for you to just go ahead and share and use as needed, which is cool. Even tips and training are down here. So there's all kinds of good stuff on this dashboard. All right. And it even tells you connect more accounts here. So let's say you don't have your Facebook connected. Okay. You're going to click here and it takes you right here. So then you can see, okay, we've got Facebook Ads Manager, and there are two for Facebook and Twitter. So Ads Manager is for when you're running ads, your Facebook ads, that sort of thing. And your post scheduling is actually for if you're going to be posting a post. That makes sense. So like what we just created would be a post. You need to have this one connected. And you can connect with the same one. Okay, you can see here, Robin Taylor. Okay.
Is there ever a plan to add Pinterest to a linked account to command?
Did you say Pinterest?
Yes.
I don't believe there's a link to connect Pinterest right now.
Okay.
And this is pretty simple. You just see that connect a new Twitter account. You can see, okay, and it'll open up a new page. Oh, you can't see that because I didn't share that. Anyway, that's okay. But it just opens up a new page. You log in with your information that you already have, and you connect it, and you just hit connect, and then it's pretty simple after that. Okay. Any questions about connecting your channels to command? So I'll start with the social posts since that's kind of where we were working, and then I'll work my way back and talk about the other things. So you can see the paid ads, the emails, direct mail, and down here at the bottom of this list at the top is social posts. So you can schedule posts through here to send. And the way it works is you have to choose a date. So notice how on this side here, it shows me this week. Excuse me, we're already past these days, so I can schedule one for tomorrow. Okay, so if I hit create social post, all right, it kind of looks similar to what you would do if you were in Facebook, but so you would write your text, you know, I'm just making stuff up. Right, okay. Yay, okay. You choose your photo. So here it does allow you to choose from designs. Okay, so I believe this is newer, which is awesome because before you had to like download it and then upload it again, which was silly because it's the same program, right? So here we go. So you can see that's a wider photo. You can also do squares, but I clicked this box here. We got the wide angle, which allows me to show the whole post. Okay. Everyone see how I did that? Okay. We cropped the image here. All right, so I've got my image, I've got my text, and you can upload photos, you can do your videos, or add a link. The one thing I will say is you cannot do multiple at once. So I can't put my photo, my video, and add a link. That's not how this works, okay? It does ask you for a DBA logo. So it'll probably ask me to upload that. That's okay, we're not gonna actually post this, so that's fine. And then scheduling, so it tells you, do you wanna schedule it or do you wanna publish it immediately? If that's what you wanna, if you just wanna go ahead and send it now, I've got my page selected. You can choose multiple at once, so you can do the Facebook and then she sees she's got Twitter here as well, so it can do both or just one, depending on what you've got. All right, and is there a preview? Hold on, you guys are at the bottom of my screen. Yes, so down here at the bottom of the screen, you see this post preview, or preview post, I can read. It shows you, kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. So her picture is missing here, which is funny, but that's okay. Her picture would normally be here, right? Showing her kind of what it looks like. So you can see, that's exactly what people would see if you posted this, okay? So then again, you can publish or we can schedule it out. Yep, so let's say I want to post it this time and I'm going to post it, you know, maybe early in the morning so people see it. I'm going to choose my day. There we go. So just like that, you choose your day, choose your time, and then you'd hit schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and click it because it won't go right now. And then I'll show you kind of what that looks like. Give it a second. Boom. So then it takes you there and it shows you what this looks like. Once this actually posts, you can actually come back in here and see the engagement that the post got. So you can see how many people like it, how many comments, and if there were any shares on it from here itself. So this is a cool little tool. You can just, if you wanted to go in and create a bunch of posts and schedule them out and then not think about it anymore, and just have that ready to go. So that's kind of how that works. Any questions about posting or scheduling posts through command?
So are you only able to do that from a Facebook business page, or can you do that from your personal page as well?
Good question. So it does have to be a Facebook business page. You will not be able to connect your Facebook to command unless it's attached to a business page. And it's because we're a third party and working with them, we have to obey their rules, and they say that you're not supposed to be advertising business unless it's on a business page. So that's why they do, or you do have to have that business page.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Can you
Any
do
other-
an end date?
Go ahead. What?
Can you do an ending time and ending date for the ad?
So this is just a post. This isn't a ad,
Correct.
if you will, right?
Right. This is just a social post. So this
Oh,
is
I'm sorry. I thought we were doing an ad. Okay, gotcha.
She's
Nope.
about to show us. You could probably do the same thing as an ad. Maybe
Yeah,
you can show us
and then
that.
have an end date.
yes,
Okay.
for sure. We will definitely talk about the ads in just a second. All right. Anything more about the social posts before I move on to the ads? It's a good lead in. Okay. So ads are done in the same place. So you can see up here, this, we were in social posts. We're going to go over here to these paid ads. Okay. So this is kind of what it looks like. If you have one here, if it's completed or a draft or whatever, this is what it looks like. Okay. Once it's done. So let's pretend that we're gonna make one here. Okay. So we've got our social ad. Before I continue, I just want to make sure we all understand what the difference is between a post and an ad. So your post is one that shows up on your business page. Okay, so anytime someone goes to your page, it's sitting there, you've posted it just like you would to a personal page, right? You post on there, you know, pictures of your family or your dog or whatever. It's the same concept here. An ad is not on your page. It shows up on other people's timelines. So think about when you're scrolling through Facebook and you see an advertisement for shoes, right? Maybe you were looking at shoes the other day on the internet. All of a sudden now I have all these shoes, advertisement for shoes on my timeline. It's the same concept here. So anyone that's searched for homes or been looking for them are open to seeing this ad on their timeline. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so going to the ad, so we got to give it a name. So I'll call this test 1, 2, 3. What's your goal of this? So are we advertising a listing, attracting listings, attracting talent, brand awareness, that sort of thing. Yeah, if you've got your listing here, if you're trying to just get your name out there, hey, I'm a realtor, this is what I do, I'd go with the brand awareness. Yeah, that's what I would do. You can run this campaign through multiple channels, okay? The Instagram is here. Last time I heard we weren't able to connect Instagram. They're really picky about allowing apps to connect to them. So I know this is here, but I don't know if this option is actually available right now. But definitely Facebook and Twitter are. Okay, so I'll just check Facebook for now. We'll do buyers and setup. All right, so that takes us here. Let that process a second.
If we wanted to, can you have 2 checked at once, or do you have to choose one?
You can check 2 at once. Yep, and you'll see, I'll show you where that would show up once this goes away. There we go. All right, so name and goal, we just already filled that out. If it is a listing, if you're advertising a listing, you can add it here. One thing that I learned from Sam actually is that when you advertise a listing, the goal is not to get leads for that listing. The goal is to get long-term nurtures that you want to, leads that you can nurture, right? Because most people that are finding this are going to be people that are, oh, they might be 6 months to a year away from actually buying or selling, right? So the goal is to get leads off of these, not necessarily to find a buyer for your listing. Okay. So we'll add a listing just for funsies here. If you've got listings, it may show up here with this saying only my listings. I've seen though where sometimes they don't always show up. Not a big deal. We'll just click all listings and then you can search for your property and it will be there. If it's, again, this is kind of KWLS pulling from there, okay? So I'll pick my house again. There we go, so I'll select here. All right, so then when I select my listing, it pulled over what was being advertised already. So what, I believe that pulled from MLS maybe? I don't know. It pulled from one of the MLSs. So you can change this. You can either use what's already there or you can change it. The thing I've learned about doing these, you only get 250 characters in this little box, okay? So where it says main copy, you can see as I change it over here where it's changing. So that part I've got highlighted is this main copy, okay? So if I delete, you can see it changing in real time, okay? But you can change this or you can leave it depending on what it looks like, okay? We've got our headline, so this is gonna be down here, right? So again, this has got about 40 characters, so you wanna do something catchy, something that'll make them wanna click on it. You know, maybe we do signing home in desirable neighborhood. I don't know. Something that they're like, oh, okay, maybe I should click on this, you know? And then maybe if you didn't fit all your description in this 250 character box, you can throw a little bit more down here, you know, so I'm just gonna copy some of this. You can see where I'm typing, right? Okay, just a little more information, you know, we could even do contact Robert Taylor, I don't know. I don't know, whatever, right? All right, so then we save that. We've got our text done. So next we've got our media. So we got to hit this configure button, okay? This allows you to choose images. So if I click here, because I chose my listing, you would normally have pictures here. This one didn't have any pictures in it. So that was maybe not smart on my part, but you can, if you have chosen that listing, you can choose the photos from here, or you can upload your own, either from designs or you can upload images separately. So I'm just going to choose this to make things easy. Okay, preview and crop. Perfect, save image. Okay, so now, excuse me, now that I've added that image, you can see where it popped up here, right? And you can do multiple images. So you are able to do add more and do it does a carousel here as well. So that is an option, okay? Again, with the DBA logo, no big deal. right? So we got our images, or you can do a video. This is also allows you to do videos. So either way, we'll hit save there. Okay, so that's about how, so these three right here, or these two right here is how the ad looks. These next two is kind of the behind the scenes, how we're gonna target people, your budget, how long it's gonna run, all of that's in these two, okay? So we got the Facebook ad here. It'll have your account, and then you gotta pick your page. So we're RobinT, all right, select that. Destination, okay. You want to use Facebook lead generation form. I have done ads using both of these, and this is by far more successful. You will get more leads. You will only get leads really if you do use this one, okay? So, okay. You may get this like I did. It wants me to go to settings. For our purposes today, I'm not gonna do that. But if you haven't connected this before, you will need to go, it'll lead you to Facebook to just accept the terms or whatever. You click a button and then you come back here and you're able to highlight this box. So this button ideally would be highlighted, okay? Something I also learned, you want this to say learn more. Okay, because sign up or contact us, because sign up and apply now, all those things are scary to people. They don't want to click on something that's like, I got to commit right now. You just, oh, just learn a little more, click on it. Okay, so they're more likely to click on learn more or contact us versus sign up now. Okay. As far as adding a destination URL, so this would be a great place to put a link back to your website with the property on it. Or you can create a separate landing page either way. But what this does is, okay, we have our ad. Say I'm a customer. I see this ad. I'm going to click on it. First thing that happens is a lead capture form, this Facebook lead capture form. It makes them put in their first name, last name, I think email, and an address, maybe phone number, I don't know. Has them fill their information out. Once they hit submit, it will, if you add this URL here, it will take them automatically to that destination. So that's why I said add in your website connected to this, with this property showing, because then they're not only being taken to your website, but specifically to this property. Does that make sense?
What if it's not property specific? What if it's like, find more information about Keller Mortgage, or, is it time to refinance or something? Like, what would you recommend them be directed to then?
I would probably say create a landing page, like a whole separate landing page specifically for that topic, where you can, it's still branded to you, but it has direct information on whatever you're advertising.
So basically you want to give them a little bit of information after they hit submit, just to kind of whet their appetite, if you will, and then you begin the onslaught as soon as you get the lead.
Correct.
Hey, Leanza, don't
Yes.
they have some templates out there for Keller Offers and Keller Mortgage and some other things that you can use for the Facebook ads?
I do believe there are some things in designs specifically for Keller Mortgage and those sort of things, yes.
Hey, Linda, can we use the widgets for the mortgage calculators?
Use the
to
what?
have them widget for the mortgage calculator. So install the calculator inside there. So on the landing page, they can go there and do whatever they want there.
Yeah, you could put that on the landing page and connect that here. Sure. Yeah.
Is there a reason that you would have them go to the website versus creating a landing page for the listing?
Either way, website, I would say the website allows them to look around more, like they could do searches for other homes, and they see more information about you if you've got your testimonials or anything like that on it. But either way, it's going to be branded to you, and as long as then it gives them information, I think either way.
I'm just thinking about how the capture shows. Sometimes I like knowing the success rates of different campaigns. And so if it goes to the landing page, I know they were captured from that landing page, where if it's from the website, I'm not really sure what totally brought them there? Or is that shown like through here somehow, like through the specific campaign that it was captured that way?
Yes. So it does tell you that the lead came from this specific campaign.
Okay. So that was why I was like, I didn't know if I'd want a landing page there, because I do like how it shows where it came from.
Well,
Right.
there wouldn't be a need to create a listing landing page because you've essentially already got one, right? It's already been made.
Well, yes, but not always, because if I'm doing an open house, for example, and I'm not the listing agent.
Oh yeah. I was referring just like if it's my
So
listing and I'm just
it's
marketing
the
the
listing.
listing.
I'm thinking of like lots of purposes.
No, yeah,
Yes.
you're right. You're right.
The idea basically is to capture as much information from that person as possible so you can add them to a smart plan and start nurturing that lead.
Yeah, I was trying to decide, like, as I'm doing open houses, if like, is it then more beneficial to me to, sorry, let me silence this. Is it more beneficial for me to set up a landing page for that open house or create something through my website? I'm just kind of like.
For open houses, for something that's not, I would put that in I would do that through a landing page. That's going to be a lot easier than trying to create something and put it on the website.
Yeah, and that's going to be a post. That would be a social post. That wouldn't be an ad. You wouldn't want to pay to promote, I don't think, an open house.
Okay.
What?
Got it.
Well, I mean, you could, because if it was a social post, you're just giving it to your audience. An ad would go to
People that are not
live
my
nearby.
audience.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you could do it that way.
I mean, because for me, an open house, from my mindset, if somebody walks in the door and I get them as a lead, great. But it's basically creating that presence online of, I'm an agent, I'm active, this is what I'm doing, because a lot of the consumers don't generally take the time to think, oh, that's not their listing. And so as I'm trying to get people, as I'm trying to increase my sphere and have people think of Heather Realtor, I'm not really advertising the listing or the open house. I'm advertising me.
Exactly.
And it shows me working.
But one example, an ad would give that image and that message to people that you don't know.
Right.
And the social post would only be seen by people you do know.
Right. Or people that have liked my realtor page, even if
Yeah.
I do know them and they might not have liked my realtor page yet.
Right. Can you, Leanza, can you walk us back when you're done with this phase on how to create a landing page?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. All right, so that's on the destination part. And then we've got our ad targeting, okay? So you can use what they've set up here. Typically, I do the custom settings because then it opens up all of this. So first thing, you can target your own database. Most of the time, you're probably going to use this custom audience because, like we were just talking about, you're trying to reach people that you don't already know, right? So custom audience, you give it a location. Okay. Typically, if it's a listing, right, I choose it where around that listing. If it's just brand awareness or like an open house, you would pick the area that you're targeting. Okay. And then you give it a radius, 20, 25, 30 mile radius, depending on how big what kind of area you're trying to cover, right? And then this expert targeting. So I do use this. We try to keep it simple, I will say. We don't want to go too crazy, but I will always add things in like Zillow, Trulia. And what this does is we are going to target people based off of their likes and interests on Facebook. So if they like Zillow, if they like Realtor or Trulia or whatever, this will help us target those people. And that's what we want to do, right? We want to get potential clients that are serious or that are that are interested in things because we're spending money on trying to get them, right? So what else? Trulia didn't come up. Am I spelling that wrong? There it is. I used to put the premier agents, but Sam doesn't recommend that because we're not trying to target agents in this case. We're trying to target potential clients. So, and then I do believe we got some home. Let's see. I might do home. Yeah. Keep it small, keep it simple. But again, these big ones, I did do realtor. So just targeting those things, Zillow, realtor, Trulia, and you can see the estimated target audience. So we narrow it down a little bit, but you don't want to get too specific, because if you're targeting like, you know, really in depth, like 30-year-olds, first-time home buyers, etc., like you're gonna end up spending way more on the advertising, on the ads, than if you broaden that up a little bit. Does that make sense with the targeting? Okay. So then I'll hit save. Oh yeah, it's gonna fuss at me because that's not filled out. That's okay. So then we've got our duration and budget. All right. So it doesn't let you start them on the same day. Yeah. So you can't start it on today's date. So you want to advertise, just think about that it's got to be set up in advance. Okay. Because it typically takes them a few hours that first day to approve the ad. All right. So pick a day to start, pick a day to end. All right, and it tells me right here, duration 14 days. But I would stick between 7 and 14 days, 14 being the max, just because part of this is also experimenting. You want to see what works, what doesn't, what's successful, what brings in leads, what's not working. So to do that, you keep it shorter time frame and see how it performs during different days. That makes sense. And then you give a total campaign budget, and then it tells you, okay, so it'll spend about $2 a day. Now there's some background behind this, and I don't want to get too involved in the ad process because it can be a little confusing, but basically it's kind of a bidding system. So you want to target certain people, so does everyone else who's purchasing ads, right? So you kind of bid with them, and there's typically like a cap, so you only will bid so much per person. So that's why you want that number, that lead capture, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Anyway, I'll show you in a minute, but you want those numbers to be small because you only want to pay 10 cents for a lead versus $1 per lead. Does that make sense? You want it to be as small of a number as possible. So that's part of this as well in this budget. But just because it says $2 a day doesn't mean that it will spend that $2 a day, only if the algorithm has you winning the bid. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay. So yeah, so then you save that, and then you're good to go. Now this is, since I have that not filled out, it won't let me publish, but you would typically then go on to publish, and then it gives you your option for payment. Okay, so you can actually add your payment into Command itself. So you're paying through here. And then you can actually save it to be used at later times, which is cool. Yeah, and you can see that here. So back on this kind of main screen over here, beside create a new campaign, it says payments, and you can add cards in here. Okay, and you can add multiple cards, which is kind of cool. But, oh, go back over here. Oh, I was trying to think of this cost per lead capture, this number right here. So once you've got an active, oh my gosh, ad, this will say active or completed, all right? It tells you this, how long. And then we've got this, so this is click per milli, which is, they're also called impressions. So these are people that see your ad. You do pay for people to see it. This is typically a smaller number, but it's like cost per 1,000 people that see it, okay? Cost per click, so you pay for how many people actually click on your ad, all right? But again, these two aren't the ones we're worried about. We want this. We want this to be where most of our money's spent capturing these leads. So I'm a really big numbers person. I love analyzing data and that sort of thing. So when you have multiple ones going on, you can see if people are just looking at it, if they're clicking but not actually giving you their information, or if they're actually giving you their information. And so that's where this kind of comes in handy, and where some of that experimenting that I talked about can come in, with playing around with these to see what actually works. Does that make sense?
Are we automatically in the special categories? Part of Facebook, you know, when you're doing a regular Facebook ad, you have to choose special category because it's a housing.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, ask that question again.
When you do a Facebook ad through Facebook and not through command,
okay,
if you're doing a housing thing, a housing ad, you have to choose a category called special category, which basically means you can't discriminate. You can't change the ages. You can't change you can't target a specific zip code because of the housing regulations. You can't target like an affluent neighborhood and not, you know, another different neighborhood. So what I'm asking is, through command, are we automatically in that special category? Because if you run a housing ad in Facebook ads and you don't check special categories, they could flag your account and stop your account.
Liz, I think so, because in some of Sam's training, I have seen, you know, where it had to be, you know, the 15-mile radius, which
okay,
a location, which is the minimum that Facebook allows if you're going directly through Facebook, due to their agreement with the Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Right. Any other questions about Facebook ads?
I've got some tips for everybody too on Facebook ads, just things that you want to remember when you're doing your Facebook ads. What we've seen is we've all heard at Keller Williams the rip off and duplicate, right? So there are so many things out there. Instead of recreating the wheel, some of the best tools that I've seen for this is Google what it is that you're going to create an ad about, and just kind of copy some of that verbiage. So if you are looking for something specific that you're creating an ad for, just Google it first. I've also heard that the leads that come through Google are better if you use the Google search. The leads are more convertible.
Explain that last part.
Well, in Sam's classes, this is what he's taught us, is that you get better leads with your Google search UD, and they're more convertible. So a lot of people, they kind of leave off the Google part of it, and that's just a tip that I have written down, but I haven't tried it yet.
I'm not sure if I know what that means. What does that mean?
I don't know. It's just a tip that he told me. Like I said, I haven't gone in and tried doing a specific Google ad.
Are you talking about the Google ads?
He said that the Google leads are better. So I haven't tried that Google one yet.
Yeah, so the one that's right here.
Yeah, instead of doing like a social post. He said if you're going to choose a listing, what historically that they have found is don't be picky about the listing. You know, you want to probably, if you're doing an open house, if you're going to do an ad for an open house for someone, ask them if you can use their listing to put an ad out there. And, you know, ask any realtor in the office, hey, you got a listing. Would you mind if I run an ad using your listing, because I want to try and, you know, pick up some leads? You're not trying to sell the listing for them. You're just trying to pick up people who maybe are looking for a house with a pool in the backyard. So you're talking about the fact that there's a pool in the backyard and this is really cool. And if you want more information about homes like that, to give you a call. You're not typically selling that house. So you don't even want to use so much the description of that particular listing. You just want to talk about something really cool about that listing. Like there's a pool in the yard, or it has, you know, an in-law suite, or, you know, maybe something about the terrace level that's really cool, or it has, you know, the guest house in the backyard, or it's a tiny house, whoever's looking for tiny houses out there. So you want to talk about something very specific to that listing and not the listing itself. The name of the ad, you probably just want to use the address of the listing just so you can keep up with the ads that you're doing. If you are doing stuff, if you want to use the Keller Mortgage created ones, if you go into designs, they've got several different designs that people use for Keller Mortgage. So you can pull these, the idea is to pull these people in who are looking for a mortgage, and then we use Shelter, our alliance partner, who can typically give them a better deal anyway, but there's already some stuff created that you can use for that. He said use a lot of emojis. So if anyone out there is not big on emojis, you're going to have to get used to it for your Facebook ads. You know, they do the point down, like click here, and they just use the hand pointing down. Mm-hmm. That's, you know, that's the thing now. And let's see. He's opted, and again, I haven't tried this, but he had opted or gave us information, run an ad for 5 to 7 days and run it for about $5 to $7 a day. Now, and if any of you aren't on some of the Command Facebook pages, they've got some really helpful information. If you need a question asked really quick, or you can't get in touch with Sam or one of us, utilize those Facebook pages. They've got agents all over the country who are doing these things and doing them successfully. And, you know, it's Keller Williams. Everybody's open to sharing how they're getting it done.
Just to add on to that real quick, I don't know if you guys are watching, but it's called Emojipedia. This actually allows you to search for emojis, and you can, if you're going to use one, you can click on it and then copy it into like your Facebook ad or your post or whatever you're going to use. So I use this all the time.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that cool?
So,
how fun is that?
I guess it's cool that this website exists, but
so you can search for, you know, any emoji that there is. So just putting that out there. All right. All right, so you wanted me to go over how to create a landing page, correct?
Please.
Okay. So for landing pages, they're gonna live over here under consumer. This is also how you get to your website, if y'all saw that earlier. So under consumer, we've got the landing pages, agent site pages, and guide builder. We're gonna hang out today in landing pages, okay? I gotta move y'all over again. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and click on create a new site. They give you two options, on my agent site or as a standalone page. If we are creating a landing page, we are creating a standalone page. If you're putting something on the website, then you're gonna click on my agent site. But for our purposes, we're doing standalone. And I get this question a lot, so I'm gonna go ahead and address it. As of right now, these standalone pages cannot be put onto the website. You have to choose on my agent site to create a site for the website. If that makes sense. Okay. So standalone page, and we're going to hit create page. All right, so over here on the, so you see the blank, obviously. Over here on the right-hand side, we've got all these different kinds of widgets, okay? So think of widgets more as a layout. They're things that are already designed to look a little nicer that you can use, that then we'll just fill in the content. So think of this as first we got to put our template together, and then we can go back in and edit any content in it. So anything, so I kind of start with like a branded header, right? So it's got our name, Robin's picture, okay? And so if you've got a listing that you wanted to create a specific landing page for, there is a nice listing widget in here, okay? So you've got your picture, all the information, and then they can actually search all the pictures, okay? And again, we will go in through and edit this content in a minute, okay? This feature is also, I didn't mention it, but you probably saw it. It's a drag and drop. So I pick what I want. Let's throw a market snap. Okay. I'm going to click it. You see that green line? I don't know if y'all saw it, but let's see, there it goes. That helps you determine how you're gonna lay things out, right? So I can take this, see that green line that popped up? If I scroll up, oh, come on. I can always move these things around. Come on. So see that green line there? If I let go, I moved that widget up. So this is totally customizable depending on what you want to include in this landing page, okay? I'm just showing you some of the different ones. It's not necessarily how I'd lay it out, but just so you can kind of see what these widgets look like, okay? We've also got...
Can I ask a question quick?
Yes, absolutely.
So I've used this a few times, and I'm just kind of still thinking about, you know, cross-pollination of better ways of using things. Is there a place in here, I can't think of a widget that would have it, that would give you a link to your website?
Ooh, let's see, does this one, y'all are blocking that again. So this one actually has a place, oh, where did it go? I clicked on it and it went away. But it did have a place where that link that had her website on there. The other one that
I'm thinking it would be so nice if you say, if this property doesn't quite fit your needs and you want to search for more, click here and it brings you right to the page. That'd be a nice widget.
It would. I agree with you there. I don't know that
maybe I'll request that on the ideas@kw.com.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be great.
Hey, Heather, what is ideas.kw.com?
Anytime you have an idea and you're like, I wish Command did this, you go there and put in your idea, and people can, the people will review it, or other people can vote on it, and it's the things that you want to happen, and you're like, I wish this would happen, and it gives you at least a chance to be heard.
But awesome. You know what? On that one we were just looking at where it says download my app, if you get people to download your app and fill in their information, you've grabbed them as a contact, and then they're going to use that app to search, which,
yes,
you know, ideally is just as good as them coming to your website, because more often than not, they're going to be mobile anyway.
Okay. So, or I wonder if the download the app thing could say, download my app, and then also, I mean, because some people don't want to download the app. So download the app or look at my website. That's a hard call. Or even on the download, instead of where it says download the KW app, I wonder if on that, when you're customizing, can you say, if you want to search for more properties, download my app?
I don't believe that one can be changed. We can look at it. I'll leave it in so we can look at it.
Because I have added that widget before, but
yeah, we'll take a look and see if we can. Just to go back to this real quick, you can see here we've got these different categories, so you can actually, not that you're necessarily going to go through here and look, but if you wanted to see if someone's posted that idea already, you could come in here and take a look, and as you scroll, you actually get updates through this website. So like this one needs review, this one they are reviewing, you know. Just looking for one that says that they're gonna do it, but anyway, they have these kind of updates here, which I think is cool because, oh, in development, there we go. So additional opportunity types, we know that those 3 types of pipelines are on their way, which is cool, and it's in development. So it's also just a good little kind of update, but you can come here, you post your idea, and yeah, like you said, you get to be heard. So cool little website there. All right, so once you've got this laid out how you want it, okay, everything's in the order you want it to be, and you know, we got to edit the content, right? So think of this as the template. Now we got to edit the content. We got to come down here to this configure widgets. Okay, everyone see that? So we'll click on that, and it automatically takes you to one to be edited. what I like to do is click this button, that back arrow, if y'all saw that, so I can see. So see, these have green checks next to them, which tell me they're all ready to go. But these number 1, 2, 5, and 6 are missing information. So I can't publish my page until all 6 of these are green, okay? So I like to start at 1, I just go down the list, okay? So header text, it does ask you to do header text. I've learned that you can put a space in here and it will still accept it, but you could you could say, I don't know, I've done things like spring market or whatever, right? Okay, you can change out your information, but most likely this will all be the same. So then I hit that save and apply down here at the bottom. You can see, then it updates it. So this isn't an automatic change. You have to hit that save and apply in order to see the changes you've done, all right? So then I can hit this arrow. So see, there's the back arrow here. It will actually take me to the next widget. So then number 2, we've got some more branding to do. I don't know her number, so I'm just putting in numbers. Make sure all this is filled out, because you can see you got the red asterisk, so anything that's got a red asterisk has to be filled out. Okay, team logo, everything looks great. We'll hit save and apply. All right, moving on. This market snaps, so you give it a header. So if it's typical, this is done by a neighborhood. Okay, so it's not an area, it's not a zip code, it is done by neighborhood. So whatever the neighborhood is, I'll do my current one just because that's what I know. All right, so I put my header in, my zip code, and then it brings up a list of subdivisions, okay? As of right now, you can't type it in or anything. You just gotta kind of scroll through. Wait till you find it. I'm just gonna pick one because I don't see mine yet. We'll go with Farmington. Okay, so then I hit save and apply, and you'll notice how now my widget, when it pulls up, is different, okay? And it gives you a little map, and it gives you the statistics for that particular neighborhood. So good little numbers widget right here. All right, so I'm just gonna keep kind of going through here. This is the download my app. You can obviously change this. I think it's worded just fine, but again, do what you want. So we can edit the button text, but the URL is already set. So we can change the button, but we can't change where it directs to with this one, okay? Then if I go to the next one, I was gonna see where it says, so, and then this one allows you to change the link, but there's nowhere to change the button name for this one, this download my app. So for your question, Heather, this is, neither of these will work for that. Okay. So we fill out our information, more numbers, make sure, I don't know if it's really good. Okay. Oh yeah, so the big thing about this one, this your local expert, is you only get 280 characters in here. So it goes really fast, which is smaller than your regular bio. So typically you have to do an edited bio here, just so you know. Okay, so we saved that. One more. So the listing. So this is cool because again, we get to browse our listings. Same thing. I'm going to do a search. All right, so you choose yours. So again, the select, the one that you want. You can change, you can choose it, the photo from the listing, or you can upload your own image. But I think if you're choosing the listing, it makes sense just to use the listing image, right? If there was more than one photo, you would see more than one photo here. This one only has one, so that's why. So we'll hit save and apply. So again, this process is very much just going through it, making sure all the blanks are filled out how you need them to be. You got all the right information in there. So now when I go in here, and you can, I always double check and make sure this information's correct. It most of the time is. I haven't really had a problem with it, but just to make sure that it did, the information did update, because if it didn't, I would just go in and hit this, the save and apply again. And typically that'll do it. So if you ever notice, you're looking through and you're like, that's not the right square footage, just hit this save and apply again before you move on, and it'll update it. Okay. So with this listing in here, you can kind of see all the information that you can get to. And again, once again, there's only one picture here. But so then now notice up in the top right-hand corner how my publish page is now lit up. I can now hit this. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit publish. Would you like to publish as a landing page? Make it visible to others? Yes. What I will say, don't let that statement frighten you, because look at this URL. No one's gonna accidentally come across this URL. So if it's not perfect, but you just wanna see what it looks like, you can go ahead and publish it. So then I'm gonna click on it, on that URL, and now you can see here's the landing page that we just went through, right? So that's kind of how that goes. Any questions about landing pages, creating them?
So you're not necessarily giving them the web address and say, go to my landing page. It's just basically a click through. It's just that there's the content right there, right?
Right. So you might, you could easily send this link out and just say, hey, check it out. Like, I've got all this. Or for the Facebook ads, if you are doing a post on Facebook and you want to throw it out there, you can always, there's a lot of potential to be had with these landing pages, because they're just a one-page, simple, get to the point information. So. Any other questions? Robin, anything to add?
No, that was very thorough.
I know you have asked about my open house posts that I've put up there, and this landing page process is what I've done for those. And then I just take the link and post it to Facebook.
Nice.
So I'll be the person who voices the concern that I suspect a few of you are having, which is I got into real estate to sell houses, not fool with widgets, and this stuff makes me nervous. So right. How do you solve that problem? What services do you offer, guys? And can you give us an idea of what that might cost?
We do offer those services. So if anyone is interested, and Leanza has worked with several people, and I'll let her kind of tell you some of the things that she's done. We help from beginning to end. If you haven't gotten anything set up, we help with doing the Facebook ads. We post for people monthly on Facebook for them. If you don't have a business page, like, you can't do a lot of this until you even get a business page. So if you need, you want somebody to set up a business page, and even like prior to that, if you don't have a logo quite ready yet, hopefully you've got your headshot taken care of. So now you want to brand yourself some, we can help with that. Getting the Facebook page up, getting the marketing done, the monthly post. We can help on the Kelly Guide. We can even help if like I said, I don't know how much some of you have looked at some of this, but in your app, there is a buyer guide and a seller guide that will walk your buyers and sellers through every step of the process as they are under contract. If you need help filling those out, and it's, just writing all of that out, then you can absolutely, we can help with that. And if you just want landing pages created, we do that as well. We have a command price sheet that is on my website, and I will shoot it over to Bill. so that he can get it out to you guys. So anything that we do in Command, pretty much everything I think is on that price sheet. But I'll let Leanza tell you some of the things she's done for the landing pages and the website.
Yeah, so the biggest thing I think I've done with it is I've sent out several Facebook ads using these landing pages. I, in the past, had actually created a separate landing page for the property for a listing versus using the website. I think doing it again, I would probably try one with linking to the website, the property on the website, to see if that had a different result. But I've done that. Done several Facebook ads, and like I said, with the difference with that lead capture form versus just a landing page, highly recommend do not using just the landing page, because that lead capture is what we want. What else have I done? I've created and updated multiple Facebook business pages. So the biggest thing is, for me, like, I'm a millennial, I'm young, so like when I try to look up someone's business, typically I'll go to Facebook before I go to a website. So if you're trying to reach any kind of younger generation, first-time home buyers, those sort of things, you're gonna want to have that social media presence. So just making yourself look like you've done business, just like you look like a person, you know, even if you haven't done any business, just making you, again, that kind of human person that, oh, they know what they're doing, you know. So filling out all the information, making yourself easily available. So making sure your email's on there, your phone number, and I know it sounds silly, like those are basic things, but you'd be surprised how many times I log in and they're not there. And then the posting monthly for sure, because you want to post about any listings or open houses, but you also want to post content that isn't advertising, that is relevant to homeowners, you know. So I've done custom content where I will actually go and search things for and put it together in a post. So you know, like in the winter, like keeping your chimney clean and that sort of thing, or like in the summer, making sure you check your HVAC, or, you know, like different things that homeowners have to do, you know, and giving them information, because the more value that you can give them, the better. Because that's really what it's about. You want to give them value, not just, hey, look at all my listings, you know. So those are the things I've done, and I've seen the biggest difference in different agents, Facebook and websites.
Cool. Thank you guys so much. Who's got some more questions?
I need the website. I need your website.
So remember, Robin Taylor and Leanza Bacala are available for your questions. They are certainly available to be your business partner, to guide you through all of the administrative and marketing services. Maybe you can help me come up with a better way of saying this, Robin, but you know, we talk about the 20% and the 80%, right? The 20% for being a real estate agent is lead generation, lead follow-up, going on appointments, negotiating, and practicing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically everything else, including everything we reviewed today, marketing, social media, you know, running, bookkeeping, data entry, contract to close, putting listings in, all that kind of stuff, that's what we would call our 80%, which means that it's certainly got to get done, and it needs systems and models and tools and technology, yet it's not the best use of our time, right?
Absolutely.
However, I always feel strange saying, oh, just give all your 80% to Robin, because you also have 80% of your key work and 20%. So what's a good way to explain that where it doesn't come across as condescending?
Well, my job is to help. I mean, I am, you know, I have a virtual assistant company. So if you don't want to do that 80%, and a lot of agents, just per their personality, they don't enjoy getting bogged down in the details. They don't like the list and creating the task. They don't like moving the little blocked opportunity through the pipeline from one stage to another. They don't like filling out commissions, but they have to get paid. The way I look at it is, you want to be in front of people and showing houses. I may not be as good at showing houses as you are. You know, I might look at
She's
the
pretty
buyer.
good. Leanza, don't worry. She's good.
She got me a house. She's fine.
Oh, we did great for them. But you know, it's not what I want to do every day. It's not, you know, I don't want to drive people to 58 gazillion houses because they don't know what they want yet. I get frustrated doing that because here's how it needs to be done. I have 3 lists. I'm going to check them off. And if I'm going to veer one way or another, there better be a really good argument as to why I should veer off of my plan here. So I'm really good at sitting down at the computer and creating the plan and going, okay, this is how it's going to be, and doing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's kind of why I created this business. So, you know, don't say offload your 80% onto me. Just say hire me to help you build your business, because that's what we do. If you have more time to lead generate, whether that's on the phone, in person, at networking events, however you choose to lead generate and build your database, then the other stuff you hire out. And I don't think it's condescending. That's what I do. And then if I need something hired out, I go hire it out. If it's something that I don't like, most of the time, if I get clients, I refer them out, because that might be my 80% that I need to push off. So we all have things we like to do and that we're really good at. So in order to build,
you guys all missed the opening, by the way. You should have said, now, Robin, what are you looking for in a real estate agent?
I'm available. I'm available.
Well, I'll mimic, I'll say exactly what Robin asked me to say, which is I believe you should hire Robin and her team to take care of all the things that you don't know how to do, don't have time to do, don't have an interest in learning, yet you understand that they're worthwhile. And many times I've kind of explained this to you guys a lot in the past, is many of us are kind of launching or relaunching our business. Hey, and more often than not, you have more time than money at the beginning, right? So you use your time. And then as you have more transactions and more sales and you increase your income, you start to use some of your money so that you can free up your time, right? And Robin, I've always really enjoyed her business model because it's a la carte, right? It's a la carte. You can buy a little, you know, a contract to close package, or you can do the listing input package, or you can just say, here's a stack of stuff I need to put in command, send me a bill, you know, whatever it is. You don't have to go out and hire a $50,000 assistant that you have to keep busy. You just simply have to have a resource available who knows all the tools, all the systems, all the tech, and know when you're getting bogged down with work that's not in your 20%. And
so what happens? What happens if it's the late at night, like suddenly you got this, or, you know, they're close to the end of the day and they suddenly need stuff done? Like, what are your work hours, or what's your availability, or like how, because knowing your boundaries too is a good like thing to be aware of.
Yeah. Well, on Facebook, I put that our hours are 9 to 5. Now, you know, being in real estate as long as I have been, I know that real estate doesn't.
She froze.
Yeah.
Leanza, you want to finish that sentence?
She knows that that it's an all the time business. Like, you know, she's been working with us lately. She knows that you're gonna work crazy hours. She's here most of the time. She's almost always available. If you call her, she will probably most likely answer, unless she's got just something crazy, you know, something going on in her personal life. She's more available than I am, but for things like if you have contract that's like, oh my gosh, I have a contract question like right now, she's the one you would go to anyway for that. But yeah, she makes herself pretty available if you need her. So,
And
Okay.
also, by the way, it's, you know, if they have a working relationship with you and they know like when the deadlines are, they've already got the file in place, like there's day-to-day interaction, there's going to be some level of preparation that they're doing to service you and preparation that you're doing to minimize the chance that it would be some type of urgent matter that, you know, something's on fire. There's also the resources within PC, of course, the agent mentors, myself, Aubrey, the rest of the leadership team, the Roswell Facebook group, the Agent Leadership Council, the Georgia Legacy Facebook group. I mean, there should be no shortage of people that can assist you or point you in the right direction should you have a kind of an emergency need. Okay. Please tell Robin thank you. Tell her that we finished her sentence. And, I am super grateful for you guys spending some time with us today. I hope you guys got a lot out of the session, and we will see you in the morning.
Thank you.
All right, bye guys.
bye.